top. Did you say
I'm dead.
George just dropped.
I threw you an aid.
He's dead.
Jordan, one more.
I think I've jumped off the map like 5 times now, bro.
No, one shot of me.
5 times, bro. Am I myth? Am I myth?
Okay.
One down below. Okay, this is fine.
Trout left hand side.
Okay, dude. Okay.
Okay,
yeah, so
10
too
HP.
far.
Yeah, you're actually forcing all that, and I like that.
Okay, dude.
Oh, I thought we were going to get some more of a
Kinda
challenge
weird.
to kind of break that wall, but
Rolled.
the question is, if we see a slow round now from TSM, there is the question that maybe they're waiting behind the wall, so that will bring players
I don't
on the
die to
defense
full
more
damage
towards
anymore, dude.
that B position.
That was the
and right
old
now,
me.
actually, I'm liking the ANDBOX.
I'm a
have
reformed
some question
gamer
marks, but
now.
they're just holding back, and it looks like that's going to pay off here, Doug.
Stars may be what gives things away as TSM have taken tree. They're looking to work their way over towards A. ANDBOX are in a great spot, though, in their ability to defend the site, right? TSM has already dropped 2 members, but subroza with 10 health creeps his way forward, not before dropping his weight cleans him up. He's going to get traded out. Wardell's left alone. It was an yeah, TSM kind of got onto the site for just a few moments, but ANDBOX really never gave up control of the site.
Yeah, it was a really cool round from them. Just
Chat, you guys
dropped
are
the wall on
jinx
B
our
main,
pistol round, by
and
the
they
way.
just decide to just commit to
TSM pistol keg WDD. You guys jinx every pistol round, by the way. You guys are the reason why we lose pistol rounds. We need to change the narrative. We need to change our history, our destiny.
And the kind of just the jewels and the mechanics that they're able to just stand and win some of these fights, and that's so key against a team like TSM that can run away with those things if you're not confident. The Ice Orb Shock Dart combo, it's a nasty one.
It is. Subroza again down to 60 health, and Ye aggressively riding up the wall, cleaning him up as well. So we'll see. We're going to continue to see that fight for B main.
All right, come on.
And TSM, I mean, if things continue to go that way, you kind of have 2 options. You either push your way through it, or you wait things out and
there we go. Take it.
Then the wall's up too, so you don't really have that as an option either.
Cash. Some control around tree here now for ANDBOX, making sure they have a good read of the situation. Tree's such an important position because you don't have to commit yourself waiting on the side, but you can be fast to act in mid as well. That's a great pick though. Vice goes down a clear path towards that B site. Yay, though, trading in mid will at least keep things
Strong gonna do all the work, and you're gonna let him die like that, huh?
And ANDBOX have that 2v1 now. So Hazel slow things down by dropping the all that will buy him time to get this plant. He's got a Spectre and 100 health. A couple nano swarms to go as well. And that's going to delay things even further. Haze has to try to find the 1v1s, but it's ANDBOX who will try to make that impossible, and they are successful. And I got to say, you know, Doug, you're talking about ways to sort of counter that B main play. And I think one thing that could be done is that what is being conceded is mid control. And that's part of the gamble, I think, is that teams don't often play fast into mid. So it is kind of free to not have players there early on in the round for the defenders. So that's one punish. The other punish I can think of straight away is just playing for the orb and cat control. But we'll see exactly what the response is here from TSM as they buy up fully.
Well, Vice is already maybe something lining up, something a little cheeky here. But there's not going to be a shock dart early on. Keeping that, you mentioned how the middle of the map could be what's exposed, and ANDBOX sniff it out. I mean, wisely, they know exactly where to push, they know exactly where it hurts, and TSM have already dropped 2.
Yeah, that arrow is so awesome. We might have a moment to talk about that soon. Actually, it seems like there's a couple moments here. So you fire that arrows, it catches people coming out of the smoke and tiles, and they have to look up to kill the arrows. So at the same time, the players on cat are pushing with a flash. Like, you're just kind of screwed in that setup. So that's a great early round.
Somebody asked a very interesting question
now it's down to cat control. It's all on the line
here
in this round.
What role
flash looks
are
good,
you,
but
the one who
nice
cooks,
spray onto the angle.
Order
They
the
covered
meat,
the choke.
Order the size,
that was Seb that got those,
pours the soju beer, or just leeching.
I was like, hang on, did that just happen? The jumping Spectre, but no.
Oh, fucking leech, man.
And it was actually, it was Cutler who was in a great spot to dodge around that curveball. He was the only one who didn't get hit by it and was able to trade it back. But then from that point forward, it was just open season on members of TSM. ANDBOX jump out to a 3-0 lead. And we talked about how this is TSM's map pick. Again, Twitch chat heavily in favor of TSM as far as the poll goes. But ANDBOX are the ones who are coming out hot. They
Chat,
look
why
good.
are there
Economy looks
GGs flowing?
sideways
What?
for TSM here once again on this weird pistol buy where Wardell's going to have
What
a
the
Marshall,
fuck?
but not a whole lot else for the attacking side. Take flight.
Drone burns straight
fuck
away.
is
Gets
wrong
some
with
early
y'all,
information
huh?
towards a main, and TSM
It ain't over.
make that play towards tree. ANDBOX are being pretty active though, so I'm liking that. Oh, the nice one. That's going to force hazed to get separated. He's going to go straight through, and
It's
that
not
utility
over.
use is just so awesome. It's so great when you're able to split up the opponents like that. And Doug, it looks so. ANDBOX looks so strong. They're active on the map. They're hitting their shots. And they're on the defense. This is usually a tough map, I would say. A lot of teams historically in North American Valorant have really struggled to be active on the defender side. So that's been a constant conundrum, I would say, for a lot of teams.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you, Dan, but it seems like ANDBOX, they've solved something where they've been able to read TSM a couple of times, even when you mentioned like the middle of the map is a good way to expose
on the
it,
board.
or one of the ways to counter
Come
the
on.
fight for B control. It's like ANDBOX was a step
Kentucky
ahead.
Fuckhouse,
Right?
run
This
it.
is
Let me
just
see
like
it.
a really strong start from ANDBOX early on, and now they have a couple of ultimates online as well. Wardell only with the Sheriff, but he's 1 point away from the Blade Storm. Nada. Ziegler run it back. The curveball's there as well, and it's just going to continue to push them further and further back. See if he's able to land anything on it. No, he's not. He
Good
gets
shot.
cleaned up. And it's interesting to see how teams respond to something like a run it back. It's oftentimes very similar to how people respond to a lockdown or a showstopper, in the sense that, like, you've just got to respect it, man. You don't want to lose any of that, especially where TSM's in a position where financially it's not great. They're down 0-4. You've got to respect that and just give the space.
A lot of utility was burned in that early setup though, and that's sort of that's what you kind of want to get something for all of that utility. And they didn't get any kills out of it. So TSM will probably feel like they came off the better from that. That was actually a really cool setup. And you can see the info plays coming in mid-round now. You got a nice pick from Ye. Just he's looking in mid, seeing what's going on, pops up the wall. At the same time, Vice also droned through B main to get info B main to see if there's a reset into a B attack. Oh my goodness, boy. They've actually, it seems like they've bit the bait here, Doug, because he's actually popped from the shadows to reinforce the site where he thinks they're going to attack, but they're actually going to A.
Mata has to go big. Mata is good for one, but he drops. Seb's there to help out. As the Seekers tag up Seb. The spike's going to go down at the hands of hazed.
Oh, shit.
9 seconds left. Does go down. Ye's operator takes care of subroza, and now Daze is left alone. He's got a lockdown, but in a 1v4, it's a tricky spot to be in. Good for one, but that's all he was good for. As Ye's op gets 3 on the round, he's going to get the defuse as well. Or potentially give it over to Vice so that he can, so he can get closer to having that Hunter's Fury online, because EA already has his ult. 5-0 lead from ANDBOX early on, and like Dan, from a financial perspective, TSM, it's been difficult for them to get really anything going.
It really has. Yeah, it's been super tough, and it's partly because of, as it seems like we're going to get tactical pause here because TSM are struggling. It's the case that ANDBOX are being active. They're never sort of sleeping and wondering what's going on, and if it comes to a point where they're wondering what's going on, like the previous round, you know, they send out the utility and they take some peeks. We saw that mid peek came in, the drone came into B main, and even though they actually misread it and they thought that it was a reset towards B, and we got from the shadows from Void towards back towards Boathouse, even still, they still win the round. So ANDBOX are throwing in the early round plays. They're looking good in that activity in the mid rounds. At TSM right now, they're just not able to find that early value from the map control. And what's difficult too is that I think the B main challenges from ANDBOX have been quite scary, but I think they do need to go back to some of those B main takes.
Yeah,
I believe.
As I say that, there's an Odin.
If it's not the shock dart, if it's not the slow orb, it's Vice with the Odin tagging up a couple of members. Now already you see subroza has already lost the majority of his armor and a little bit of health to boot. Now the interesting thing here is in this round in particular, TSM have full rifles, and they've got a couple of ultimates, a couple of key
fucking heads in
ultimates,
the
right?
game.
They've got the Cosmic Divide, the Lockdown,
Big ults on the
and
board.
the Hunter Series
Guns in hand.
that they can use to work access onto a site. And I like this from Ye too, right?
Great
like, we've seen so
opportunity
many
for
different
Texas
spots. He was
Twist, if
opting
I were
across
to
the
say
middle
so
of the map.
myself.
We've seen
Come
presence
on.
B. Now we're seeing him in tree.
Lasers.
Comes the Hunter Series from drone.
Come on.
And they're not biting. They're not biting.
Yeah, narrowly missed. Look how much time has gone. This is that's such a good way to put it. There is no bite at all. There's nothing here for TSM. They've expended a lot of utility, gotten absolutely nothing. There's 40 seconds left. There goes the lockdown actually from Hazed. So that would convince, it's going to be a fake. That would convince ANDBOX, or is supposed to, if they have no info, that it's going to be a B play. But again, the Killjoy lockdown fakes are really common on this map. And
wait a minute.
Hazed is going to get the B control. Oh, that should help the seller. But now that they've heard the operator in tree, they surely know what's going on. Again, even though Hazed takes down Vice, he's not in the fight. There's two players here for the attack that are not in the fight. They have to block Spike A. They get it. The lockdown comes in, the defender lockdown. They have to challenge for this. And
you gotta make them bounce. You gotta make them bounce,
they missed those.
You gotta make them bounce.
It's getting really weird now, Doug.
1 second. Yep. One player's detained. He's going to drop. Drone is playing back and wine, and Seb might just try to stick this thing. Boy is just on the other side of the smoke. Boy was there for the cover. Boy cleans him up. subroza just in the nick of time, not able to get there. I mean, a fraction of a second, Dan.
Oh, they're so close, and such a, again, it's so weird. What a strange situation. You got two players sitting at the back of the B site, but yet the spike has to be planted at A. It's like a weird situation where the fake actually kind of works out in the way that you want it, but at the same time that was successful, it was almost given away instantly because wardell's pushing tree, and because he had to. They didn't have the way, they didn't have the time to stagger the push correctly to really get that fake to work for them. So yeah, very, very odd circumstance, and that's a 6-0 lead for ANDBOX on the defensive ascent. This is truly looking awful right now, and Vice, he's got a Hunter's Fury, and you better believe that he wants to convert a Hunter's Fury kill off this drone.
Take flight.
We got guns still.
A lot of utility used early on by subroza. A wall's gonna go up out of Ye. And this time, no operator in his hands. It looks like TSM is turning their attention towards the middle of the map at least a little bit. Boy's gonna get away.
Winnable.
What? I mean, how did TSM find a way in?
It's quite fortunate too because there was a bait there when they put the wall up and the drone comes out. The whole point is that the drone tags someone because you would expect somebody to shoot the wall. Like the wall is a bait to be shot, so that would enable Vice to get the drone tag and get the Hunter's Fury connection. However, 40 seconds to go, the Hunter's Fury is still up. However, the positioning is not the greatest right now to deal with this push, but we'll see if this raw push is going to work out from TSM.
Oh, it's dry. They dash in. Vice doesn't need the Hunter's Fury. He gets the first kill onto Hazed, and the spike goes down. Wardell trades it out as Ye is still anchoring things down on the back of the site. He's going to have his hands full in a moment, not able to mow him down. As TSM get onto the site, we asked them how do they do it. They've done it. They're going to get the spike down as well. Seb and Mata looking for something. Mata's good for two. subroza left alone. Flashed up. And again, 13 seconds. Like, TSM continues to fight the sixth man in the server, and it's the clock. subroza gets the spike down. subroza gets cleaned up instantly as Mata gets 3. ANDBOX get to 7.
I can't believe this Mata guy is so good. He drops the hot hands. He's got like a lineup for the hot hands to prevent the spike from getting planted on the site Radianite boxes, which only means that if they want to get it planted straight away, which they have to plant at the back right, this line of the site, which then he has a lineup to spray. And he sprays that and gets 2 kills off of it. That's so unreal from Mata. What an insane play. I think I'm going to see it here. Surely we're going to see it here indeed.
Fucking teabag
He forces them to plant there and then sprays them through the wall. That is just so awesome.
We highlighted Mata at the beginning, man, and he's been on one. 7 and 5, and you really don't stats don't always tell the whole story. I really think you highlighting that play right there really is more of an accurate representation of just how good he's been. TSM back on full buy here, but Ye once again with the op, the middle of the map gets picked apart.
Do we got a fucking smoke? Do we got a smoke?
What they can do, get to run it back. Nothing. Mata drops.
Such a desperate situation for TSM once again here. Again, if you're just joining us, ANDBOX won the first map, Haven, 13-11, and TSM are experiencing so much desperation. Another kill from Ye, looking into the B main position. And Ye's killing it in mid right now. There's no answer for him. And this play into the A site is really all that's left here for TSM. 2 opening frags, but how much can Boy get? There's the first. The second is converted as well. That's all he needs to do at this point. Wardell's going to get traded out by the Hunter's Fury. And that is a wrap. Another round for ANDBOX. TSM are yet to get around on the board. They are staring at a big fat donut at the moment. Oh no. It's looking so desperate. Their money's wrecked as well. They've got the Seekers, they've got the Knives, they've got the Cosmic Divide as well. So there are some ults, but I don't think you want to use those on a thrifty type of situation unless you have an argument to do it.
Get out of my way.
And again, Ye finds himself in a different spot. The previous round was the middle of the map. Got the pick, threw the wall up. This time he's in tree. And guess what? TSM are working their way across the middle of the map, right up Cat. Ye's going to get a chance. Yep, good for one. Slow orb drops. He gets away scot-free. Now, what can TSM do with this? They've taken the middle of the map, and like sometimes you'll see Boy playing here in this market area to at least get info. But that's not even here this time. Wardell going aggressive with the Blade Storm, looking to see if he can spot anyone.
Not over.
There's no one home. The flashes come out. Boy. Mod is there with him.
It's over.
Boy, dude, Boy's good for one. The dart's there as well. Gosh. Seekers come out. His Cutler cops down. Now Hayes was good for one, but again, he's in a 1v4 and he's got nothing but it. Well, he did upgrade a weapon just then.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, as far as ANDBOX's defensive setup, they gave up so much space because Doug, remarked upon it. There's no one in market this time. There's Boy's normally there, and when you're playing against the eco, oftentimes you want to avoid.
I believe we can make a comeback.
Market play, and you want to play angles that are more favorable in terms of punishing the pistols coming out of choke points, as opposed to sticking yourself in choke points where you'll get abused by the numbers. So
game's not over.
ANDBOX just they're well studied. They know what they're doing right now.
Oh,
anything
Wardell
can
looking
happen.
to challenge where Ye's been with the op the last couple of times. He's not going to spot anyone. Ye's actually holding things down on a long. So the middle of the map, again, the attention spot for TSM as they try to find some momentum. This might be it. Nope, never mind.
Motto. 3 rounds. That's all we need.
He is looking.
Just give me 3 on the attack. Come on.
I'm really afraid for TSM right now because they haven't managed to make a single thing work out for themselves, Doug. Like, none of their defaults are really hitting. ANDBOX is just ahead of the game. Here goes. I mean, last time the lockdown was used here, it was for a fake, but ANDBOX have control A main and trees, so they know it's not a fake.
Well, and Vice doesn't have the Hunter's Fury, so it's going to be difficult to cancel it out. Right, so that's certainly going to work its way through. Mata was able to get one, but man, Hayes going in aggressive. Able to get 2 of his own. Boy responds right back. The paranoia is going to come through as well. Boy has a decent idea of where he is. He cleans him up. Mid doesn't work. A doesn't work. B is not working either. ANDBOX have been shutting the door on TSM every single round, and they don't have a response.
Nightcrawler, thanks for the 5 gifted.
They don't. Like, no one's picking up. It's just a dial tone right now when you call TSM. It's looking so bad that because, as you say, like they haven't been able to really punish anything, and in the rounds in which there is an even exchange, the clock is burned, and they're like suddenly, okay, there's even exchanges. We don't really have that much map control. There's 40 seconds left. We haven't lost anybody, but they've burned so much time that is in of itself a huge disadvantage for the attackers. The time forces you at a certain point to have to make decisions.
Please.
It's going to be a B play, so they're doing an A main control with subroza to try to make it look like it's going to be action towards A. But at the same time, again, ANDBOX are pretty active. They're sort of recon into B main. And TSM, they've got to make this good. And oh my god, how is EA killing everybody? Everybody.
Oh, what a paranoia. What a paranoia. Vice swings at the same time, but Wardell manages to swing out.
Come on.
Get the kill on Vice, and now for just a moment, it seems like they may have some breathing room on B. see ANDBOX still has 2 members on the other side. And of course, as I say that, Mata and Boy answer the call yet again. As Hazed finds himself in a 1v4, outnumbered, outgunned, decent amount of time. That's really all he has going for him here.
Tough times here. Hazed, I don't know that he's going to find a way to get to a site here. There's a lot of different obstacles, positions to clear, things to worry about. He'll make his way forward, though. And if you can get a couple kills, you know, charging up that lockdown would be awesome.
10 seconds left.
Have to make some steps there. He's forced to do it. There's just too many angles, and Boy will take him down. And again, ANDBOX. Oh, man, they've been making everything just look amazing in this game so far. And TSM going into the last round, they barely have $4,000 on any player. In fact, it's sub $4,000 on every single player. So nobody can really get a full buy with full armor. That's just not going to happen.
All right, Dan. In between maps, before we started Ascent, on the break, you said to me, well, I didn't expect that to happen. Did you expect this?
No, not at all. This is grotesque. TSM have yet to get around. There's a... I'm not going to jinx... well, I'm going to jinx it. There's a world where they get 13-0 to hit. You know, it's looking pretty close. There's Yay! He's back at it again with the operate. He doesn't miss, except that time. And Cutler's going to be the one to take him down. And with that said, with the Cosmic Divide, there will be a post plant on the A site. This is the best look we've seen, I think, so far from TSM this half.
Yes, absolutely. And Vice is going to show up a bit late. No way. A lot of backtracking. And just to get Wardell gets one as well. All right, TSM at a numbers advantage here. The lockdown's going to come out. The Hunter Series is going to follow shortly thereafter as the lockdown gets cleaned up.
I thought that you knew that you meant everything to me.
Took away.
I know we get mad and we yell and blow steam, but now you're gone. I only see you in my dreams.
As Cutler's in a great spot to blow things up. Great shot from Wardell. Vice alone. The perfect game is gone. TSM is on the board to close the half and really could not come any sooner.
Yep, that is at least a round to play with, and it's going to be a tough comeback. You know, we've all seen it happen before, but it is just so difficult on the, especially on the defender side, right? Because we talked about it previously. This map has some problems, at least in North America. There has been, I would say, a slower development of playing actively on the defender side and playing for information as much on the defender side. It is just very difficult to do it. I think things have improved a lot over the last few months in that regard, but it is still a difficult task. It's not a natural thing, like feature of the map, where you say, you know, it's split, defender decided, Haven, attack decided, you get all these things that work out in your benefit. No, you know, this map is tough. It really is tough on the defender side, and starting up on this pistol,
this is it!
To get some of the info. The drone has been used.
Round by round!
Is now given by TSM.
Should help run a little bit of at least a little bit of info. And Hayes dealt some damage, but he drops as the pistols from ANDBOX just like mow over TSM on the site. Drone's going to drop as well. It's just Cutler and Subroza that are left, and they're going to be showing up from the opposite side of the map. So full map control, full site control, excuse me, in favor of ANDBOX. And they were able to assume their post plants. They're sitting cozy. They've got everything they want. This is difficult for TSM to work their way back in. Maybe a little bit of greed could be their downfall, but no, a flawless round for TSM. And Dan, I can't freaking believe this. ANDBOX, with the 1-0 series lead, are up 12-1 on TSM to eliminate them at map point and qualify for Challengers Finals.
Yeah, I don't know what is the best word to describe it, but sort of whatever negative feelings, or I guess combination of negative feelings that exist with TSM, I'm sure those have been kind of building since they were struggling to get anything going on that first half. And you know, it's going to take a huge degree of mental resiliency to keep yourself in a game like this. And we'll hope that TSM can show that to us, as you know, they'll be starting off this round, you know, having to force buy. There's nothing except force buying at this point. Nice start by Wardell, nailing Ye straight in the face. Dark cover, and he's just going to get in there, and it's a tough one. I don't know that Wardell had to give up the man advantage there, but he's going to go for the play, the risk, And here comes the play into the A side. Oh, nice by Cutler. Maybe there's something to work with after all, as Cutler nails 2.
2v2 is all that's left. Subroza is able to get one. Vice.
Oh,
Vice, good
1v1?
for 1. Hazed and Vice in a 1v1.
Oh.
And it looks like Vice is going to get out.
He heard him. He fucking heard him. Line up the shot.
Oh, he saw him.
Oh, he didn't.
I think Hayes saw him, so he has a great idea. And if
Hayes
he didn't
did.
see him at this point, with how loud he's been working his way around the map, he certainly heard him.
Oh!
We play another round.
We do indeed. That was so... I can't believe he's trying to do Hayes like that, like shutting the door and then walking catwalk. But Hayes was deep enough on towards the tree position to just hear that running on catwalk. So yeah, but he still had to hit like a one shot basically with the sheriff. Right. But he still had to hit that hard shot. So TSM, they're still in it. They're not dead just yet. And with that round, with that thrifty, effectively, even though it was a force buy, they are going to be in a good position to win this follow-up round.
Right above the horizon.
The hardest ones to win, though.
And remember, it was ANDBOX in this situation where they had pistols.
What is that?
That they were able to win the round.
What is
They're
it?
certainly not out of the woodworks, but that's certainly going to help.
Oh my gosh!
Drops right off the bat. And Vice is certainly works for her as well.
Turret's so annoying.
Is it a comeback?
Yamada does not want to face it. Now, of course, ANDBOX have to make sure they close this game out and don't get too... There is a feeling that you get in a position like this where you feel like you've already won the game.
Hey,
you need
shoot
to
the fucking
make
molly!
sure you don't feel that feeling and that you keep focused because you haven't won the game. The game is not won just yet. And here they go, straight in. ANDBOX and... So I'm just going to trade out Hayes.
Well, Boy's trading out Cutler as well. No weapon upgrades on the side of ANDBOX yet. But they've managed to get themselves this far. And Boy spotted one. That was drone back on the site. Wardell's in a great spot, though. You see him wrapping around, working his way through the market, but the door's going to go down. It may not matter as Boy drops. Seth drops as well. Subroza good for
Another
3.
one.
And we play again, and as we mentioned at the beginning of the round, Dan, ANDBOX had pistols. Really, I think that was actually all they had. There was no player that had a slightly better weapon. Now they have full rifles, and for TSM, you've got to play perfect Valorant from this point forward.
Give me it right now.
Yeah, and there's so many mental challenges because at the same time, people especially in the poker world will understand this idea that you become extremely risk averse when you're in a situation where you feel like the next move could lose everything, or you're already losing so much, and so you don't make the right decision making in that mindset. So that takes a lot of experience. TSM have a lot of experience. Oh, Hayes has found a great swing, and he has met the running back at the perfect time to take it down, and that confidence is needed. That confidence is going to string together a series of kills here that make TSM look pretty good going into this round.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one box, a small step to work their way up this mountain that they're staring up.
That's what we
TSM with a
need.
comfortable numbers advantage. 7 Boy, the last 2 members, and they know where they are. They're hard and a flawless round win for TSM, and you've got to approach it that way, right? Like the mountain that I was alluding to, when you're at a deficit this big, facing elimination, all you can do is take it one round at a time.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where again,
big round. One more. Come on.
It takes a lot of being in these positions and a lot of practice.
Another
and a lot of awareness of that mental part of the game. Because you have to work on it, because there are certain things that come into your mind, thoughts and otherwise, that will throw you off enormously. And ultimately, as you say, it is just another round, and you need to have this focus to treat it as such. And we see TSM, you know, we're talking about risk aversion. They're going for an aggressive play into B main here. Again, the right thing to do, take some forward map control. They're going to push it all the way. I don't think ANDBOX actually expected that level of aggression. And there, the spike is stuck. Oh there's a man who's falling straight for it too. Okay, Vice is going to get himself out of that spot with a nice headshot, but it is just pistols after all here, Doug. So as fun as this looks for TSM right now, of course, the hardest obstacles are still to come.
Right. And I think you mentioned what you were alluding to with poker and how in a situation like this, you often see players or teams get a bit risk averse, right? Like they don't want to be what ends it, right? They don't want a mistake to be what ends it. But if there was a team that I feel comfortable saying, regardless of the situation, they're going to play their own style, they're going to play their own pace, it is TSM. And as you saw in that previous round, dial up a little bit of aggression, working their way through B. ANDBOX really had no response to it. Now, the interesting thing, Dan, as you kind of feel things slowly but surely start to turn, ANDBOX just took a tactical pause.
Yeah, and this is most likely a tactical to take, not to discuss anything strategic or tactical for ANDBOX, but actually to just calm down the momentum from TSM, to kind of bring TSM back into that situation where what they're doing is they just want to keep playing. But what ANDBOX are forcing them to do right now is to stare at this 5-12 deficit, where knowing that if they lose this game, that they're eliminated. And if you look at a 5-12 deficit like this, you don't come back from these very often. That's extremely rare that you do that. So ANDBOX get to just force them to stare at that for a little bit.
Rare, but not impossible.
Revealing area.
Drone using the dart early on, not going to spot anyone. As you see, Wardell has taken an aggressive position. He's pushed his way out. He's got the operator in hand. He's flashed up again. Oh, man. He gets punished, and here we go. The lockdown's going to come out. Dueling lockdowns. As Seb and Hazed are both going to use theirs, and it's all just noise, right? It's fool's gold. Neither team is committing to this.
Yeah, and it's really good to see Wardell in a position like that. At the same time, these things are going to happen. So it's a 4v5 situation for TSM on this defense. So they're trying to stack towards the safe side. They're anticipating the rotation.
Oh, and, good divide. Good divide.
Cosmic divide comes through.
Good divide.
And this is going to be down to hitting those shots, the mechanics here. Cutler. Oh, they're actually going to force their way through into the TSM meat grinder. Ace will take a double. Seb able to get the trade, but it's looking fantastic here. Nice shot from Seb. He's looking dangerous. That's a great headshot onto subroza. And with 2 players to go and plenty of time to do it, he's looking good in that sense, but there is no spike in his hands. That is the real problem here for Seb, because they can force him. TSM can force him to push forwards. Dinosaur's not going to quite do the job there to force one to swing. That's what Seb really needs. They have to just not give him a free kill right now. Drone is going to take him down. Great amount of respect from Drone and Cutler to finish that one properly. And that's another round for TSM.
Just one more.
So what is it? I think that's, what's that, 4 rounds in a row? Was it 12-2 at one point where ANDBOX found themselves in a good spot? So for TSM, like, again, you start to feel some of the shifting, right? Like 4 rounds in a row. Again, you just take it a round at a time. And you can slowly start to see like a glimmer of hope, right? Like a light at the end of the tunnel where they're like, just maybe we're going to be able to pull this thing off.
6 more rounds.
And as I mentioned for TSM, it's
we're already halfway there. Oh. What are you? Hello?
And this has been a similar look out of ANDBOX that we've seen the last couple of rounds, right? Like show a bit of presence.
Good shot, dart.
While they wait to see if anyone's aggressively going to make their way from A.
Yeah, and I do like this switch up from TSM a lot, because they
Chad, we win
I
this,
think are anticipating, given the presence that TSM have had aggressively on B main. TSM are kind of playing for ANDBOX to overcommit into B main and then into B. So they're playing passive on B, expecting ANDBOX to dump utility on B main and to possibly just send it. So we got the drone into B main there from TSM to get that information. And at the same time, ANDBOX will hear that. So ANDBOX know now that TSM see nothing in B main. So they can decide to either like wait
Let's go, Yasin, to Feek.
Or they can decide to try to just walk up into tree control and play off of that, which is what they're doing. But they're going to walk into wardell. Never want to walk into wardell.
No, and not just wardell. Subroza is there, and Astra Star's at the door as well, and it looks like they're actually going to turn around and work their way towards the middle of the map. Mada's going to use run it back. Seb gets one wardell, takes Seb on the other side of the map, but you even see the spike right now in the hands of Ice. Like, well, we don't really know where to go. There were a couple of options that we tried working our way through. Connected, and now with 12 seconds left, they're going to have to force something.
Wardell, what are you ulting for? Watch this.
When hazed is waiting for them right below, he's done it beautifully. And I'm telling you, man, don't walk into wardell. That's the rule. That's the rule. And you know that was really interesting because again, as we were talking about, like the drone clear of B main, we actually did get the B split there ultimately, and that is one of the more likely things that happens. We kind of said the two most likely maneuvers after that. But what that also tells me too is that ANDBOX there are sort of waiting to see what TSM are going to do at the beginning of these rounds. We might see a switch up now, having ANDBOX take the initiative.
If push comes to shove, give them the site, play retake, shit on them from the further range.
Yeah, and with a pistol round here, right?
Good shock dart.
Best case scenario, you dial up something spicy that catches TSM off guard. Maybe you make something happen out of it, but you don't. I mean, you don't really expect.
Nice. Look how we're playing back. I like this. I like this.
As I mentioned previously, they did it on Haven. They did it on the map. And it's certainly possible that they do it here as well. A lot of utility exchange. You see the drones. You see the shock darts around B. But that's really it so far as ANDBOX slowly creeps their way forward. There's an Astra Star waiting just on the other side. Subroza spotted Seb, so they're getting a decent bit of info there. But they're going to try to get onto the site. The paranoia is there. Wardell playing in market, not going to get a chance in anything as he gets smoked off and has to step back to respect it. But TSM, you mentioned the grinder. That is TSM. It's in full effect yet again as Seb is left alone with 56 health and a sheriff to his name.
So, you know, there's one thing to mention in this position, because we were talking a lot about the psychology, because whenever you're playing tournaments, there's a lot on the line in terms of psychology. Lots of areas that players don't necessarily refine until they've been in those positions multiple times. And one of the things with
ANDBOX right now,
we were talking
he's
about
frying!
Difficulties to TSM, but being ahead
everyone else pick it up
pressure as well in terms of ANDBOX. And if you have players and honest experience dealing with that, there is, like I said before, when you start getting that rush of good emotions that comes from the thought of, I really think we're winning this game. We're eliminating this team. We're making the top 4. Like these kinds of things, you get completely dialed out of the game. And that's a problem. You know, we'll come back to that point again as we go back into the buy round. And maybe this is the round in which ANDBOX make it happen. They do have a full buy, but again, TSM are looking pretty dangerous right now. And we'll get the drone clear for info from ANDBOX in mid.
No run it back in the hands of Mada. TSM, excuse me, ANDBOX are very clearly looking to work their way towards A. The lockdown has been used from Seb. I mean, it's not like
I like this. I like this look,
really,
Rosa.
so it does look like this is not a fake. They are going to stick onto it. They get onto the site. This may be it, ladies and gents. Subroza drops first. Mada's looking to push aggressively, push back members of TSM that are trying to play onto the site. The wall has gone up, so Tree's going to be very difficult
we have retake
for them to get through, but Hazed is trying to dance around it. He does have a lockdown of his own.
You know, Vice is going to have to play for it and around it.
That lockdown is pretty huge. With the wall there to help protect it, this could be a pretty huge moment. That will actually force players to be playing in a main most likely, and they can wait for this one to pop. Mada's there ready with that curveball, and then they don't seem ready for it, but somehow they get the kill anyway. This is very, very problematic for TSM right now. Hazed is going to try to make the drop to wardell, but the frags are coming here for ABX. They're making it all work in their favor. Wardell is the last man standing, but not for too much longer. That's a wrap. ANDBOX, they prevent a disaster from happening, and they in fact win and eliminate TSM from the tournament. They themselves will proceed towards that top 4. That is excellent work from them, but that almost got pretty bad done. Almost got pretty bad.
I mean, you can feel it swelling, right? Like every round that passes, there's just like a moment where you go, okay, yeah, well, that was just one round. okay, maybe that was just tune, you know, maybe that was just the pistol, and well, that kind of went sideways, but you could feel it building. You can feel the momentum going in favor of TSM, and I think you mentioned the psychology of players in moments like this, where it's very difficult. It honestly is difficult to be ahead 12-1 and then find yourself 12-8, right? And go, we've lost control of the game. You try to reach into attack pauses to hold